Hello, and welcome to NIME's 3 Days Weather Forecast. I'm Olubi Adedamola. We begin our presentation today by looking at the satellite imagery behind me, which shows quite some bits of cloud cluster over different parts of the country. But the country has been quiet in the last 24 hours, except for some few areas over part of the northwest and some part of the northeast, which have experienced some activities of thunderstorms in the last 24 hours. And going into the next 3 days, we do not really expect a lot of activities across the country, except for this highlight. We look forward to part of the northeast of the country, areas around Maiduguri into part of Yobe and Adamawa, experiencing some thunderstorms later today in the afternoon and evening hours due to an encroaching thunderstorms from some parts of Chad. We expect some activities as well over some part of the northwest of the country also later today, areas around Zamfara, part of Katsina, and also part of Guzo and Sokoto are also likely to experience some thunderstorms today. Around some part of Niger, there are also chances of some rains, and also part of Plateau and Kaduna and some part of the FCT. We also see some isolated cases of rain showers. We also expect some rainfall over some part of Benue and also some part of the southeast coast and inland areas, while we expect some reduction in rainfall activities over the southwestern region of the country due to the event that we call the August break. We expect temperatures to drop across the country as a result of overbearing cloud coverage over different parts of the country, as temperatures significantly over the northeast would not rise beyond 28 and 29 degrees Celsius. Places in the northwest will report temperature not exceeding 32 degrees Celsius over areas around Sokoto and parts of Katsina. We expect the central areas around Kaduna and the FCT and Niger to also report temperature within the bracket of 28 and 29 degrees Celsius, while we expect the same temperature interval to hold over areas around the inland of the southwest and the coast of the southwest, as temperatures significantly over these areas will not exceed 29 degrees over the southwest and 30 degrees over the southeast, inland, and their coastal areas. We expect this lull in rainfall activities to trickle into part of Thursday, as we just expect some slight intermittent rains over part of the central cities into some part of the south of the country, while there are still ample chances of thunderstorms over most areas around the northwest of the country and part of the northeast of the country, which includes areas around Maiduguri and Yobe as well. We still expect temperature not to change much over the country, but there should be some fraction of increment over part of the northeast, as temperature over Maiduguri is likely to rise to about 31 degrees Celsius, and the same is likely to hold as well over part of the northwest, with places around Kebbi and Sokoto reporting temperature around 31 degrees Celsius as well. Abuja and environment will still maintain a temperature of 29 degrees Celsius, while we expect temperature over the southwest, inland, and coastal areas to still range within 27 and 29 degrees Celsius, while that of the southeast, inland, and their coastal areas will still be within 28 and 31 degrees Celsius as well. We also expect some level of stability over the southwestern areas and the southeastern areas, especially areas around the Niger Delta on Friday as well. But we still hold some slight prospect of intermittent rain showers over one or two areas over part of Ijebu-Ode, Akure, and also part of Ilorin. Part of Port Harcourt and part of Eket are also likely to experience some rain showers, including some inland areas of the southeast of Oka and Onitsha. We also expect some activities of thunderstorms over part of Adamawa into part of Gombe and also part of the Mambila Plateau axis of the country, where we should expect cases of thunderstorms to be reported. In the north, however, we expect some significant levels of stability over most cities there. We expect temperatures over Maiduguri to rise to about 34 degrees Celsius, and this should include the level of convective activities on this particular day, while we expect areas around Jigawa into part of Katsina to have temperature around 31 degrees Celsius. We still expect some stability in temperature over the central cities, as the FCT will report temperature around 29 degrees Celsius and Nasarawa 31 degrees Celsius respectively. We expect temperature predominantly over the southwest to still range within 27 and 29 degrees Celsius, while that of the southeast will still hold within 29 and 31 degrees Celsius in most cities as well. We expect these conditions to remain as it's been in the last few days, as not much vagaries are expected in the next 3 days.